Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be playing with some new items in my collection. I am going to tell you guys a little bit about the Fenty foundation in the hydrating version. You guys know that I'm pretty normal and can be a little bit dry sometimes and can be a little oily sometimes depending on the season. So I have the Pillow Talk medium lipstick and liner on, and also have the Pillow Talk extreme blush. So if you guys are curious about my thoughts on these products and want to see how I put them to work, let's go. I can't help but laugh at myself when I see my little towel on. Okay guys, so today we're actually going to play with the Fenty Beauty foundation, and this is the hydrating version of it. I wear the shade 300. Same as in the other one. And I really love the matte version, but I'm a little dry right now and I find myself adding like oils to my face before my foundation. So I think this is a good time to try this because, here we go, come summertime, I can't wear this. There's no way I'm going to be able to wear this. So I'm going to take my Makeup by Mario foundation brush, and I've had issues with this brush. I feel like the bearer of bad news lately. This line, after I washed it, completely, well, it dried weird. It dried like, you know how when you put a brush down and then it dries and it changes the shape of the actual product? Like the bristles will look kind of jacked up, or even if you're like too rough with a brush, how it just can look bad. These dried like that, and when I dried them, I squeezed them to shape them, and then I laid them flat. There was no reason why they should look like they were chewed up. This feels really nice. I just want to tell you guys, like, I'm putting this on and I'm like, wow, this feels good. It is gliding. It looks really good, actually, really smooth. So anyway, so they looked like they had patches of hair missing. So again, I attribute it to maybe it was how I washed them or how I dried them. So I pulled them out, I used them, and then I washed them again. This time I used a brush guard, so it's that little sleeve that goes over the bristles or the hair of the brush to keep it from losing its shape. They still looked like they had been chewed. Like there was like patches of hair missing. I'll show you guys. I'll find one that has it, but it literally looked like there was hair missing, which I would think that you would be able to see when they were packaged, but it looked so bad. I'll show you guys. I've decided we're using them today, but like look at this one. I guess you wouldn't see it unless you were looking directly on, but it looks, that's a gap. It's like the hair is short. Let me see the other one that's really bad. This one you can't see because I've used it for cream contour, but you can kind of see like the gaps. I don't know what happened. I can't, like, I don't know what happened. So I'm going to use Sienna by Hourglass. This has been my go-to concealer every day, and I have been using this color in particular. Beaches I can wear also. It's just a little bit lighter, and I prefer the peachy undertone of Sienna. I'm going to go in with my bronzer by Chanel. I've had this thing for a long time, and I'm trying to use it before it goes like fully bad because it's starting to dry out. I can see the edges are starting to dry out a little bit. So I'm going to go in with this brush, which is why I used this brush. Using it though makes me remember why I loved it so much. But obviously this is a bronzer that I can only use when I'm not tan. Once I'm tan, it doesn't show up. But look at how pretty that is. I feel like this is a product, it's been around so long, so I feel like at this point they should have come out with alternative shades. It bothers me that a company that has been around as long as Chanel and as a brand that has like customers from all over the world, let's just say, different cultures, different ethnicities, races, that they would not try and cater to different skin tones. And I know that's what we've all been saying. I know that that's where the beauty industry is currently at, but this brand, again, I feel like, I sound like an old lady, I feel like, I'm going to go in with my foundation brush. High-end brands have a really hard time catering or meeting the needs of the brown and the black communities. And that's really what the truth. Like, YSL just started a few years ago to expand their shades. And even then, their shades, and I've said this before, I love their foundations, right? Some of their foundations are just, they're amazing. But I hated the undertone. So I am medium. I often categorize myself like medium tan. And what I find is that when they do have products for my skin tone, that the undertone is off. The undertone is always pink, or it's always the undertone that favors the light complected. So oftentimes, like even with the YSL foundations, and we'll go to them because I haven't tried the Chanel foundation, so I can't speak to that. But with YSL, even the shade that I had always looked grayish on me, especially anywhere where I had like extra pigmentation or darkness, typically around my eyes, under my mouth. Under my eyes, around my mouth, I would find that it would start to look ashy. And the undertones were just always off. So I feel like at this point, it's time, it's time to expand the shades on this. It doesn't, hurt to add deeper shades. You would have more people purchasing it. There's people who would love to try it, but really, realistically, when you look at the shades, you're like, there's just no way that's going to match. So this is a powder brush that I started to use for my cream contour. I'm going to go in with my Charlotte Tilbury Flawless powder, airbrush powder, whatever, you know what it is. And this is in the shade medium. So I'm just going to go in, make sure that I don't have any creasing or that the product is pushed in. I really like the way this is looking. So my only concern is how it's going to wear, and that's only because I can be a little oily throughout the day, and I don't want to have to touch up, but I will today. I'm going to be out running errands. I'm not going to go in with a large powder brush, and I'm just going to use this all over, and voila. Alright guys, I am going to do my eyebrows, and then we'll come back and finish this look. Alright guys, I have my brows on. I'm going to go in with my concealer by NARS, and I'm going to take the concealer brush that comes in the kit. I already did this brow, but I'm just going to clean up slightly under this brow. And I really like this brush because it's so dense, and it just gives you this really precise application. There was a little brow hair that came off. I can't afford to lose brow hairs. I hardly have any. Alright guys, so I'm gonna just clean up here. I never used to do this, but I don't, I'm not someone that like plucks their eyebrows. Every now and then I will. But again, I don't have a ton of hair, so I try not to mess with them. And I started to do this because it does really just give your eyebrow precision. And I know it's another step. So if you're somebody that doesn't have a ton of time, or that doesn't want to take the time to really like define your brow, then don't do this. And voila, we have le brow. My son says that. le to everything. He's still like, le mama, le papa, le bebe. So now I'm just taking my Kush Brow by Milk. And I'm just going in lightly to define the brow hair. Painterly Paint Pot. Why do I always call it Painterly? Lane Low Paint Pot. I'm going to take this and apply it all over my lid. So I don't want to spend a lot of time on this because it's just very sad. I think you guys know where I'm going with this. But, you know, there was a crash, a plane crash or helicopter crash that took the lives of 9 people. And obviously the 2 known people or well-known people on that flight were Kobe and his daughter. And it's so sad because it's not just sad because it was Kobe Bryant and his daughter. I'm going to take the highlighting brush. I'm just going to use this to set that paint pot. But it's sad because there's 9 people that lost their lives in a tragic and horrible way. And you know, the reason why I started to even mention it with there's 9 people that lost their lives is because oftentimes what you're hearing is Kobe Bryant and his daughter along with 7 other people lost their lives. And you know, just because Kobe Bryant was amazing at his craft and had so many accomplishments and was well known because of his career, you know, and obviously his celebrity, it doesn't mean that his life was more valuable than the other lives on that plane. So I wanted to say that it is sad. You know, the people on that flight all had families, friends, loved ones, and you know, Kobe did a lot for people. He did a lot for kids. He did a lot for his family. You know, for other sports players. Like, it's fair to say that he was an inspiration to a lot of people. But at the end of the day, it wasn't just Kobe Bryant and his daughter. It was people. It was 9 people that lost their lives. And it's horrific and sad. And I can't imagine what any of those families, wives, husbands, children, siblings are experiencing. You know, I am having a hard time with it because now, you know, I think about it and I can't imagine not having my husband or my son come home, you know, when they were just doing something that was very natural and regular for them. So that was all I wanted to say. Alright guys, so today we are going to be playing with the new Pillow Talk collection by Charlotte Tilbury. And I don't have her eyeshadow palette. It's actually one that I'm heavily debating on getting. But I'm going to use her blush. And this is the Pillow Talk Intense blush. So I'm going to take the darker shade on a brush and I'm just going to place this in the crease. So this is going to obviously be a very simple look because I don't have all of the shades in her palette. So it's not like I can create a variety of looks. I really want to stick to what I have. And already, like, this is such a pretty color. I'm thinking I may have to bake my face, guys. Or at least the center of my face, because I'm looking at it now after it's been sitting for some time and it doesn't look set. It still looks even like a little wet in areas like here. So I think I'm gonna have to go in and fix it. While my face has been feeling drier, I'm not a dry skin type. So I can be a little drier, but that I'm like super dehydrated or super dry, that's not the case. So I want to stick with the Pillow Talk theme. So I'm going to go in with this shade. This is not by Charlotte Tilbury. This is Dose of Colors. I'm trying to get this to focus. There you go. And it's Weekender, and it's just a beautiful mauvey berry shade. but I think it would pair really well with the overall collection. And I do want to wear liner today because, I mean, liner is a good thing sometimes. And I do want a little bit of definition. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I have a love-hate relationship with the Dose of Colors liners because they're so dry. They're not a smooth and easy application. That's what it's looking like. So because it is drier, I have to get super close to the mirror so I can see like where I need to perfect it. So I'm going to do my liner and then we'll come back to finish the rest of the look. Okay. So this is what the liner looks like. I love, 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 love the way this is looking so far. But I am going to take the blush and I'm going to go in with the berry shade, just a little bit more heavier. Just to get it to intensify just a little bit more. I hate how unsmooth this part of my eye is. It annoys me. It annoys me that I can't ever get like a smooth application. There's always like skipping. Oh, it drives me nuts. But it's part of aging, right? And then I'm bringing this color just slightly higher at the front, just to kind of change the shape of my eye a little bit. I'm going to take my Laura Mercier Caviar mascara. I'm not sure how I'm feeling about this. It's been some time that I've had it, so I think maybe now the formula might be slightly different. Yeah. Alright, we're all gravy, baby. I had a little bit of a hard time with it in the beginning. Obviously, right? Anytime you have a new mascara, those first few days are rough. But I always feel like with this one, hello lashes, I always felt like it wasn't giving me the volume that I wanted. Like it was like long thin lashes and not black enough. But that's not the case right now, is it? Sometimes you just have to give your mascaras a little time to be lived in. So I'm trying out new contacts. I'm trying to see if I notice a difference. When I first put these on, I was like, wow, there's a difference. But now after wearing them for about 2 hours or so, and again, I know you get used to things. I'm not sure that I'm really getting like the wow effect anymore. You know? I don't know what's going on with this lash, but this lash lately has looked so jacked. Like the ugly stepsister. Alright guys, so I have on my liner and my mascara, and so with this mascara, one of the problems that I have is that it always gets on my lid. So I'm just taking that brush that I used for concealer for under my brows, and I'm just lightly running this right above the eyeliner, and that's going to help clean it up. Also pick up any, I'm trying to blank, any mascara that's left over on the lid, but it is also more importantly going to give you just a really bright, crisp lid and smooth out the liner if you're feeling like it's not as smooth as it could be, which again, this is a drier formula, so it is a little challenging to use, but it's so damn good. If they could just make it slightly creamier and still keep the longevity of it, this liner would be the go-to for a lot of people, but it is a drier formula, so it can be a little trickier. For my bronzer, I am going to use this Too Faced Chocolate Soleil bronzer. It looks like this. And I am just going to take this brush by the Mario collection again. Oi! Cocoa powder. Cocoa powder. I am now going to take my mascara that I forgot about. This is my MAC Extended Play Giga Black Lash, and I'm going to pop that on the lower lash line. I did not use the Caviar by Laura Mercier because that brush is humongo, and there's no way that I would be able to get the application on without getting it all over my lid. So my concealer typically does not crease, and I know that this is in relation to probably the foundation, honestly, because I'm seeing that I am getting a little shiny. So I'm gonna go ahead and bake. I'm using this powder in Soft Yellow by MAC. I found this in my collection and I have been using it, and I have to say that I'm liking it. So some observations that I've made, I know it's kind of hard to take me seriously right now. Some observations that I made regarding this foundation is it's not the same coverage as the original foundation. Okay, I think I'm just gonna dust this off now. You don't have to let this one sit too long. Like it does a really nice job. I was pleasantly surprised when I used it, and I'm like, wow, it's nice. For my blush, I'm going to use the Pillow Talk medium, and I'm just going to apply this with the same brush that I use for my bronzer, and then I'm just going to buff it out a little bit. So what I'm noticing is, and I don't know if it's the foundation, it's the only thing it's got to be, there is a little bit of like the coverage is almost like nothing on the cheek here, and it's fine. I don't have like anything really crazy I'm doing, but I feel like the coverage with this foundation is not like super intense or full, which is okay. A little bit of peeking through won't kill anybody, right? I'm just hoping that it doesn't wear off. All right, guys, so we are going to finish this look. So far what I've done is I've taken a setting spray. I use my Urban Decay All Nighter spray. I'm just gonna clip this hair out of the way because it's going to drive me nuts. This is also a nice way to train how you want your hair to fall. So I have taken my Urban Decay All Nighter spray because I found that this foundation wasn't really setting, and that's going to help this product really adhere and last as long as possible. So I'm just going to do the final step today, which is using the lip products. I have the Pillow Talk Medium 2 and the Medium 2 Pillow Talk lipstick. It looks great. I'm gonna go in with the lipstick now. The final thing I'm going to do is go back in with that concealer brush, and I don't have anything extra on it. And voila. Alright guys, let's talk product. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is the Fenty Hydrating Foundation. I don't know how I feel about this. I think that this would be a product that I would use in the winter time and when I want more of a natural finish. I'm surprised that this doesn't have the same coverage that the original Fenty foundation does. I wonder if I can build it up. I didn't try that because I felt like the coverage was fine, but as I started to lay other products down, I can really see that the product shared out here. My cheeks, which is where I tend to want more coverage. Like, I don't know if you guys can see, product doesn't look smooth or even. Oh, look at it. So I don't know that this is for me. I have to play with it a little bit more and see how I feel about building it up and the coverage, but it looked kind of heavy on me. It looked a little bit heavy around my nose. I don't know that I'm going to be able to build this up. I don't want to give you guys a final answer. I'm sorry, but I need to try and cover this up a little bit more. So I'm going to have to play with this foundation a little bit more to see if I can build it up and really get the final effect of it. But I feel like this is not going to be for me because I'm not a super dry person. And while my skin needs a little bit of hydration right now, I feel like this is too much hydration for my skin. I liked the way it was gliding on. I liked how it looked while it was wet, but it never really set. And for me, that's key. It has to set, otherwise it's not going to wear very well on my skin. I feel like somebody that is really dry or is more of a drier skin type is really going to love this because your skin is going to look really luminous and glowy. And even after I put on powder, I mean, you guys can still see my skin looks very luminous. So I do like the overall effect that it gives, but I feel like I would need to find the same effect in a matte foundation. So I'll try this out and I'll keep you guys posted on it. Now, let's get into pillow talk. So I am going to say that I really love this blush. I think that this is a blush that works really well for medium tan, and then deeper skin tones. I almost feel like anyone that is darker than like an NC or NW50 might not like this, because I think that this middle part can make you look a little ashy. And I'm only saying that because I do own the original Pillow Talk and the centerpiece is a little bit lighter, and when I apply it sometimes it can look a little ashy on my skin tone. Now, I will say that I'm glad that she finally came out with a lip pencil and lipstick for deeper skin tones. So I can wear Pillow Talk without a problem. It looks fine. It works well with my skin tone, but it doesn't necessarily work for deeper skin tones. So I'm glad that she added some variety to the Pillow Talk line. The Pillow Talk medium lip pencil is fantastic. I think that she did a really beautiful job with the pencil, but her lip liners are already known to be really great products, so I wasn't surprised about the overall consistency and wear of the actual product. The lipstick shade, I think it's beautiful. I think it works well with my skin tone, and again, but at least now there's more variety and there are more options to the nudeness of Pillow Talk. And there is one more shade in the lipstick line, so there is a deeper Pillow Talk, and I think it's like Extreme. I'm pretty sure it's like Pillow Talk Extreme, and that would be a fantastic option for somebody that is more of a deeper skin tone. So again, I like that she played with her options and that she recognizes that Pillow Talk is a beautiful lipstick, but it necessarily doesn't work for everybody, and she's addressing it. So I appreciate that. In terms of the eyeshadow palette, I want it. I really want it. I haven't seen it in person. I've played with the mini palette that kind of resembles, I forget what it's called, but it resembles some of the shades in the larger palette, and I'm like, I didn't think that was anything fantastic. But I am curious about the Pillow Talk shadow palette, and it is on my wish list, so we'll see. For now, it's not something that I'm getting. For now, I don't have it, so I can't tell you guys a ton about it, but I do like the way that this shadow, or the blush, looks on the lid and how it paired with the liner that I used. I really like how this look turned out. I think it's really easy. I think it's work appropriate. So yeah, that's all I have to say. I hope you guys enjoyed this get ready with me, and don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and leave a comment down below letting me know, do you own the Pillow Talk palette? Do you think it's worth getting, or is it a palette that you're interested in? And if not, why not? I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye. One other thing I wanted to tell you guys, this lipstick and lip liner wear so well. I want to just give you guys that little piece of information, because I find that anytime I wear her lipsticks, I wore this yesterday, I still had it on at the end of the day. I had eaten, I had been drinking water, I had been drinking coffee. Like, I went about my business, and at the end of the day, I didn't think I had anything on. And somebody's like, ooh, someone got dolled up. And I'm like, what? And they're like, yeah, you have on more makeup than you normally do. I'm like, no, it's the same amount of makeup I always wear. And they're like, but you still have lipstick on. And I looked, and I did. It was still on. So these do wear exceptionally well. I can literally blot my lip now and continue to blot it and it'll still look like I just freshly applied it. So you are getting a great quality product, because I know they're a little pricey, but it's definitely worth it.